Hello? Yes, he's here, but he's in the middle of a troop committee meeting. Would you like to leave a message? I know he'll want to talk to you when he's finished with the meeting. All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
What is the purpose of this camping trip in June that you are proposing, Guy?
The main purpose is to give the boys a taste of real scouting. To the boy, the most important thing in the scout program is the out of doors. Unless he has a chance to camp out with his buddies, he never really uses the things he has learned as a scout. When he becomes a tenderfoot scout, a boy learns, among other things, certain skills that will help him to be self-reliant and a useful member of his patrol and troop in the out of doors. As he progresses in the scout program towards second-class rank, he learns additional skills. How to dress for a hike. Safety precautions for hiking. Proper care of the feet. How to recognize and avoid poisonous plants. He comes to know more advanced first aid. And to use a compass, read a map. Then after he has learned how to cook a meal he can eat, he's ready for the big adventure, a chance to use the skills he has been learning. The second-class hike. Later, in working toward first-class rank, the scout learns more advanced skills. He's looking forward to the time when he can be an accomplished camper. He learns to pack and dress properly for a camping trip. How to take proper care of food and water. And more advanced first aid in case he needs it. He must know how to judge distance and height. He learns how to locate and set up a campsite. To cook complete meals out of doors. And how to clean up properly. In other words, he's ready to do some real camping, and he should. There's not very much sense to all these skills unless a boy has a chance to use them on a real camping trip. If we're interested in giving our boys scouting, we really ought to give them the chance to go camping.
As a matter of fact, if I remember rightly, one of the main responsibilities of the troop committee is to make it possible for the scouts to do some camping.
That's right.
Well, it makes sense to me. I'm in favor of it.
Looks good to me, but I have one more question to ask. What's our council got to do with it?
A great deal. At every turn, we'll check our plans with them, and we'll need some of their equipment.
Well, I'm for it. Let's go ahead.
It looks as though you have our support, Guy. You've cut out quite a job for yourself.
Not too fast now. One reason I wanted the committee to discuss this at some length is because there'll be plenty of work for all of us to do.
Scoutmaster Guy Hart brings everyone in on the ground floor. Now that he has the enthusiastic help of his troop committee, he calls a meeting of the parents to get their suggestions and reactions. Guy is now ready for his troop leaders' council meeting.
Well, then I take it you fellas think you'd like to go to Big Pine Lake this June.
Are you kidding? Will we?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be happy about it. But we must all remember that there'll be plenty of planning and preparation ahead for all of us before we can go. For example, come on, move in here and take a look.
Guy is right. There is much to be done. Through the training program of the local council, Guy has learned the skills needed on the camping trip. After he shows his troop leaders how to tie a taut line hitch, they in turn will pass the skill on to each patrol member. they soon catch on to the knack of laying out and rolling a good ground bed. It all will soon be part of something they themselves planned from the beginning. And so the channel of instruction is one of contagious enthusiasm. Beaver Patrol Leader Jim becomes a real instructor. And for many weeks, the patrol meetings are taken up with preparations for the big event. The monthly themes of the troop program, emphasizing group activities, take on new meaning for Scout Keith when he sees how they're related to his camping plans. But it's not all a matter of teaching or learning new skills. Each piece of patrol equipment is carefully checked by the Beavers to be certain they are prepared. Every scout follows Dick's example by making an inventory of his personal equipment. It was no routine check. A serious shortage was found. And Bill takes immediate steps to remedy that shortage. With a larger end in view, patrol hikes now become training hikes. The Beavers try out some of those camping skills which Guy and his patrol leaders have demonstrated, and see whether some of those dishes taste as good as they sound in the book. Speaking of food, and what Scout isn't usually, Guy Hart takes advantage of a forthcoming Camporee to solve the menu problem for his troop's own camping project.
Are you fellas all set on the menus for the Camporee? It's only 2 weeks away, you know.
Yeah, we practiced every dish on the list.
How about you, Joe?
We're ready. Next Saturday, we expect to try the beef. That's the only one we haven't done yet.
All right. But remember, it's from these Camporee dishes and those you've been trying out on your hikes that we'll work out our camp menu.
What is the next step now?
Shouldn't each patrol make out its food list?
That's right. Check each meal and the number of persons. Then you can figure the quantity for each item on a sheet, something like this.
Again, an activity takes on a meaning and a purpose beyond itself. At the Camporee, every patrol in Guy's troop is thinking of that other big camp to come. They use this opportunity to test their camping know-how thoroughly. They make it a point to gain new ideas from other patrols in the council. Long before their camping date, the Beavers foresee another big problem: how to raise money for the food they will need. There are many ways to earn money when there's a will to do it. To encourage regular, long-term saving, Guy recruits the willing services of his troop committee chairman. Mr. Wilford's as interested in the camp food fund as though he were going himself. Transportation is also Mr. Wilford's responsibility. He has a talk with some of the fathers. Result? Enough cars are lined up to carry the boys in their duffel to the campsite when the big day comes. Incidentally, what about that campsite? Laying out patrol areas and so on. Guy has that phase planned ahead of time. And here he invites the help of both his troop committee and his troop leaders' council. Knowing the actual physical features of the terrain, the troop leaders' council can lay out the camp. As the camp date approaches, each scout undergoes action. Dick doesn't seem to appreciate the fact that this is for his own protection as well as that of his buddies. Time grows shorter, and those lists of supplies drawn up by each patrol are turned into real food. Checking the lists to make certain that nothing has been forgotten is no trouble at this stage of the game. The big day arrives. The planning and the preparation, the saving and the learning are all in the past. The patrol, the troop, is going camping. Camp is now a reality. Each patrol has its own area for cooking, eating, and sleeping. In short, this will be home for the duration of the trip.
Pretty good breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's get cleaned up so we can do some repair work around camp. You guys know what to do. I'm going to a troop leaders meeting. I'll be back soon.
Well, I guess we can start now. This will not be a long session, but it's a good idea to check and see how things are going. First of all, how did the breakfast go?
Ours was okay. The toast was on the dark side, but otherwise everything tasted good.
The cook spilled our cocoa, but we put milk and water in what was left and made it do. Everything else was okay. We made out all right.
That's all right. Now let's have a quick report on your activity for today, so we'll all know what's going on. Tom, what are the Foxes doing this morning?
The Foxes are going to explore the old mill site they saw on the map of the area. The Beaver Patrol, on the other hand, are eager for some scoutcraft. They'll help the tenderfoot scouts polish up on a few scout skills. The Bear Patrol choose to improve their kitchen area and make it weatherproof. But in the afternoon, the whole troop, all of the patrols, have a chance to get together. Guy uses this period to get better acquainted with the boys and, in these new surroundings, demonstrate his place as their adult leader. He watches carefully to see that the health and safety of every boy is guarded, first, last, and always. But above all, he takes advantage of close association by helping each boy and seeing that the boy gets the most out of camp life. In fact, from the beginning, Guy has tried to keep in mind the basic aim of camping: to realize all those skills and attitudes which the boys have been learning from tenderfoot on up. This is what they've been preparing for. This is what the scout looks forward to from the day he joins the scout movement. This is scout camping.